Hey, hello, Doctor Who fans, and welcome to a quick news update for you guys. This is all news coming from, well, there's actually a bit of news that's outside of San Diego Comic Con, but most of the news is coming from San Diego Comic Con, specifically when it comes to Doctor Who, because, well, San Diego Comic Con finally gave us our first look at this year's Doctor Who Christmas special, which is very funny that the YouTube channel was still refusing to call the name what we already know, because Stephen Moffat gave us the name during his interview when Boom was about to air just a few, basically 2 months ago. He gave us the interview for it, where he basically confirmed that the story he was working on for Christmas was going to be called Joy to the World, and yet the BBC refuses to name the episode for some reason, which is very silly. Why they're not doing that when Moffat's already given us the name? So technically, at this point, you would think the BBC would just confirm what we already know at this point, but for some reason they're being weird and not confirming this name to the press for some reason, even though Moffat's already told us what the name is, and BBC's being very secretive about it, which is, I don't know what the hell that's about. Hopefully Moffat will sort them out and tell them, look, I've already said the name, just tell them. But yeah, so this, and to be fair, the clip basically just confirms it even more that it is going to be Joy to the World, because we found out that Nicole Carledge, who is going to be the guest star from Bridgerton, a good friend of Ncuti Gatwa's, in fact, the one who was actually there around the time when Ncuti was announced as the Doctor. You may remember she was presenting an award the year that Ncuti got announced as the Doctor, and they made that Doctor Who joke. It was basically her. She is going to be playing the character called Joy, hence the name Joy to the World being the episode title, even though BBC still refuses to call it that. But yeah, she basically comes out and say, I am thrilled to be joining Doctor Who for the Christmas special this year. I'm so excited for you to meet my character Joy. And obviously in the clip, obviously if you want to see the clip's in the description. And essentially this clip looks very likely to be the pre-credit scene for the Christmas episode. So this is probably likely to be that, considering we have that sort of cliffhanger of Joy being very surprised to see a returning particular enemy, or was an enemy, more friendly as of late, Silurian. Yes, the Silurians are back, as we see in the clip. The Silurians make a welcome return to Doctor Who in this Christmas special, and of course the Doctor is obviously greeting Joy with a cheese and toasty, basically a cheese toast, ham and cheese toasty with a pumpkin spice latte. So yeah, kind of funny with that. But yeah, so that is so yeah, we're kind of left with this cliffhanger that yes, Silurians are involved in this story, but are they the enemies? I don't really think they are. I think they're gonna still remain friendly allies at this time until proven otherwise. Yeah, I don't think they're the real enemies. I think it's going to be much bigger who the enemy's going to be for this Christmas special. But it's nice to see the Silurians are involved again. We haven't seen them for a little while, so it's nice to see them in this. That they're going to be involved in Moffat's potential last script as a writer for Doctor Who. So yeah, a lot of interesting things to talk about, certainly, and it'll be interesting to see what other stuff we'll learn about this episode later this year. Obviously, we're bound to not get any more details until near the time anyway, so it's nice to see we got to see a little bit of Joy in action from potentially the pre-credit scene of Joy to the World, and I guess we'll have to wait and see for the rest and see how things go for Doctor Who in 2024. I think we might be in for a nice episode from Moffat, and I think this will be a great send-off for him. Hopefully it will, and we'll hopefully learn more as we get closer to the broadcast of this year's Christmas episode, which is set to be Moffat's potential last adventure as a writer for Doctor Who. Then alongside the first look at this year's Christmas special, Joy to the World, we did get the long-awaited confirmation that Doctor Who fans have been waiting for. The war between the land and the sea, officially announced by the BBC and Russell and Poe. And we also found out that Russell's brought back some familiar faces from RTD1. Russell Tarver, you may remember him as Alonso. He was the midshipman Frame from Voyage of the Dam. He made a return in the End of Time to meet Captain Jack, but we haven't seen him since. Well, luckily, he's not going to be playing him, unfortunately. He's going to be playing a new character when he returns for this drama. And the same with Yuga Yuga Raw, who, by the way, she was the sister of Martha Jones, who played Tish Jones. She was the sister of Martha Jones in Freema Ajma's run as Martha Jones. Well, she's going to be playing a new character as well in the spin-off. So we're going to be introduced by two new characters played by familiar faces from the RTD1 era of the show. And then, of course, alongside that, Gemma Redgrave is going to be returning along with Colonel Arabelle, played by Alex Delvin, who we both saw in the recent finale involving Sutek. They're both the unit officer and the scientific officers are going to both reunite, reprise their roles to be a part of this spin-off, which in terms of what we know about the spin-off at this time, yeah, they're not really giving us too much away, except for the fact that, yeah, it's interesting because this is what Russell says. I'm so lucky to work with such a magnificent cast, and this is a huge muscle and thrilling drama which will shape the Hooniverse to its foundation. When the Doctor's not in town, the whole humanity is in trouble. So it seems to be labeling this entire drama is about what happens when the Doctor is not around, when the Doctor is nowhere to be found. How does humanity save itself? And this is pretty much the theme of this whole drama. And of course, by the way, they're actually going to be filming internationally, it seems, next month. So they're not just going to be filming in Wales, but they might be filming in other locations, in other countries. Within this drama as well. So there might be an international feel to this drama potentially when we see this. And yes, it is going to be a 5-part drama as well. So it's going to be in 5 parts. And we already know it's currently rumored to be airing in the autumn of next year. So this is pretty much after season 2 has gone out. And it's probably going to be leading into hopefully the 2025 Christmas special if we get one. Hopefully we will. So yeah, so that's pretty much what we know about the cast at this time, and we're not going to see any film until next month, so we're not going to really know what to expect from the drama. We're not going to be able to see any clips until probably after season 2 of Doctor Who next year is when we're likely to see some sort of trailers for the war between the land and the sea, and we're able to actually get to see footage of this story in action. And then then of course another highlight from the San Diego Comic-Con is the fact that, as I kind of suspected, there is a crossover happening between Doctor Who and Star Trek, and it's mainly related to their mobile game counterparts by East Side Games. Star Trek Lower Decks, the Badger Detective, as well as Doctor Who Lost in Time are going to be collaborating to do like a somewhat of an event story which marries both Doctor Who and Star Trek and sort of shows two unique storytellings of what it's like, basically sort of asking the question, what is it like for the Doctor be in the Star Trek ship, and also what is it like for Star Trek to find themselves in the Doctor Who universe. Stuff like this is going to be and also River Song's going to be involved. They're going to have the 14th Doctor there as well as Daleks, so that's pretty cool. We're going to see a chance to see the 14th Doctor and River Song collide in this whole crossover, which is going to be pretty cool. And it's a limited time event, by the way, that's going to be happening this coming week on the 1st of August. If you want to obviously get your hands on these mobile games to see the events for yourselves and see what it's like to have Doctor Who in the world of Star Trek, which is going to be quite an interesting conversation, isn't it? To see how does the Doctor cope in the Star Trek universe, which is a completely different animal compared to what the Doctor's used to. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how that all plays out. So yeah, so get ready. Like I said, get ready for some unique moments to happen in the mobile game. So that's all coming. And by the way, there'll be a link to see the gameplay trailer if you want to see a footage of how it's going to go in the game from this week, from the 1st of August. All right, so that's some of the highlights from San Diego Comic-Con and some of the major beats. And then on top of that, we have Ncuti Gatwa. He reacted to his wax display, which is about to hit Madame Two Swords, which is really cool. And also Russell T Davies got to see it as well. So yeah, this is going to be open to the public. In fact, it's only open to the public already as part of London's new Baker Street Street Studio Film and TV Zone in Manitou stores in London. So you can go and see it if you're happen to be there this summer to see Ncuti Gatwa and his as the 50th Doctor alongside the TARDIS in display. So that's pretty cool that they're doing that right now to celebrate Ncuti Gatwa's reign as the 50th Doctor, of course. Now we come on to discuss about some other things from San Diego Comic-Con, particularly the merchandise side of things, because there's a couple of merchandise that came out. One major merchandise that I feel like is the one that everyone's very excited about. The fact that the 15th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver has been officially announced to be coming to the public in the UK ahead of its September. It's now in San Diego Comic-Con and ahead of its September release. And the good news is that the UK release of the Sonic Screwdriver, the 15th Doctor's Sonic Screwdriver, is going to be out in a few weeks' time. So we're only just a few weeks away from being able to finally get our hands on the 15th Doctor Screwdriver, and it's going to be having a wider release in September for those who want to get their hands on this. So yes, so from September, everyone will hopefully be able to get their hands on this 15th Doctor Screwdriver, and this is what the toy looks like for those who are very excited to see this in their hand. But yeah, they're going to have over 1,000 of these in San Diego Comic-Con, but there'll be more available here in the UK with a special edition version of the screwdriver coming in September as well. So they're going to have a very unique one here in the UK that you're going to be able to get your hands on, which is going to be really cool. So finally, the 50th Doctor Screwdriver toy finally coming to the market in time for Christmas, which is great. And then on top of that, it looks as though there's going to be a 50th Doctor Titan figure coming later this year as well. They're also got a figure where there's a regeneration pack with the 14th Doctor as well. So they're going to have some very special Titan figures coming. They've got a pink one as well. They've got a pink TARDIS of the current TARDIS in pink Titan figures, and they're also going to have a Titan figure of both the 14th and 15th from the regeneration of the Giggle. If you want to, hopefully they're going to be out in the UK just before Christmas if you want to. And they've got a video on in the link in the description if you want to see videos of their booth in San Diego Comic-Con that shows off some of the new Titan figures that they've released. They're showing off at the event, which are likely to make their way to the UK later this year, which is going to be really cool. Now, another cool item that's going to also be coming later this year is the fact that, well, we've got a brand new classic soundtrack on the way, and this soundtrack is actually more or less a re-release of some sort. It's the Daleks in Color. They're going to be getting an official soundtrack release this year. This was a bit of an unexpected announcement, but yeah, they're going to be doing this as part of it's kind of like a continuation of the 60th anniversary celebrations in some way. They've decided to do a whole soundtrack dedicated to the Daleks in Color transmission from the 60th anniversary. Silver Screen are going to be having this available to customers on the 13th of September. You can pre-order, obviously, in terms of and obviously it contains, and also the cool thing is this soundtrack contained the Whoniverse intro. Yeah, so you can literally hear the whole Whoniverse intro the BBC has in the soundtrack, which is cool. And they've also got like the Daleks in Color opening title theme. They've updated some of the soundtrack sounds to fit in with the Daleks in Color transmission that we got back in the 60th anniversary. So some of the songs from the Dalek soundtrack are being updated to represent the Daleks in Color transmission, and they've also added sort of remixes of modern songs that are being added to there, and you can see all the track lists, and they've even got an extra a disc 2 in the CD one, which it contains like extra music from the Daleks in Color transmission, which is really cool. So yeah, this is all to celebrate the Daleks in Color, which came out in the 60th anniversary, got updated. This was like the first ever black and white story to be colorized on telly that finally gets its own soundtrack release to the public with a 2 CD. Obviously, disc 2 is only available as part of an actual CD release because you can only see the first disc as part of the digital release of the soundtrack. Which, yes, the soundtrack will be available digitally as well. Yes, so they're going to have 2 discs with the physical item if you want to pre-order the physical CD release of the Daleks in Color. So this is our classic Doctor Who soundtrack for this year, is celebrating the Dalek episode that was colorized in last year's 60th anniversary celebrations, which is really cool. There's also going to be a vinyl coming as well, celebrating the Crusade, which is the obviously the Kringrich and the Lionheart story. Is finally getting a vinyl release to celebrate from Demon Records. By the way, Demon Records are responsible for the vinyls of Doctor Who, so they're going to be doing some vinyls decided to do a vinyl related to the to this 1965 story. So that's pretty cool that they're doing that, and there'll be a link in the description if you want to pre-order the vinyl of Doctor Who: The Crusades, as well as pre-ordering the Daleks in Color soundtrack. Now, in terms of the first look at the 50th Doctor, the 50th Doctor soundtrack, this is not the soundtrack, but the calendar. This is your first look at the back of the 50th Doctor version of the 2025 calendar, and also they've also going to give you a pull-out poster as part of your purchase of the 50th Doctor's calendar release. So you obviously have a choice of either getting this calendar or getting the classic one, which the classic one hasn't had photos out yet, but I'm sure they'll be giving out photos soon because these calendars are due to release in September. So it won't be, like I said, it won't be too long until we see them in the flesh, obviously. So they're going to be here soon enough. And oh, by the way, they have got photos of the classic calendar for those who want to see it. This is what the front cover's gonna look like for those who are curious. It does look nice. I'm not gonna lie. It does look like a very, very nice, very nice colors that they're doing, and they've even featured the 15th Doctor in there, and it also includes a poster where you get So it contains a poster which contains all previous Doctors as well as the 15th Doctor in there. This is the poster that they put out following the arrival of Ncuti Gatwa, leading into last year's Christmas special, which, by the way, the 50th Doctor is a part of this classic calendar as well. So you will get the 50th Doctor as part of this to celebrate Ncuti Gatwa's reign as the Doctor, as part of the Doctor Who family, which is really cool. So yeah, so this is going to be out in early October. All these calendars, so yeah, the early October, all of this will be available, and it's going to look nice. Finally, our first look at the classic calendar for this year's Doctor Who, which for 2025, which is looking very, very nice indeed. So yeah, so that's the official calendar we can look forward to for this year if you're planning to add that to your basket for October or for the end of the year. But apart from that, that is pretty much all the Doctor Who news at this time. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you all where we have more Doctor Who news to share. And of course, in a few weeks' time, we're going to be getting our hands on the Season 1 DVD and Blu-ray release. That's coming very soon. So we'll be having our hands on Ncuti Gatwa's first box set as the 15th Doctor. And then, of course, there won't be any more releases until probably February next year. Joy to the World getting its media release. But I think for the rest of the year, it's likely going to be classic Doctor Who DVD releases potentially for the rest of the year, and maybe just merchandise until the next Ncuti Gatwa DVD Blu-ray, which won't be until probably with this year's Christmas special getting its home media release. So yeah, thanks for watching, and also I've got some reviews coming up as well. So see you then.